Mike, what's your thoughts on the performance and then the game from the guys tonight?
Overall, brilliant. Like I thought the guys, I just go to the third quarter holding a good scoring team to 12. It's a really talented group, and I thought our guys had the right mindset and things went our way, and we fought through some stuff to have a great third quarter, and it started with the defense. Giving up 12 to that group is special, and I think it sets a bar for our group to try to emulate.
There's lots of moments in there where the guys really took the ascendancy, but what did it mean to the group when Tyler's attacking when he goes at someone like Sarr at the rim like that?
Yeah. Oh, I think it's amazing. It seemed like there was, especially during that third quarter, there was payoff for all the defensive stops. You know, guys taking charges, guys walling up, guys rebounding, the talk defensively, and then it turned into points on the other end. So that was the best. And when you can do it with a dunk, it's even better.
Tyler, you've been real great since you got here. Had to catch up and learn what these guys do. But what did this performance mean to you tonight? And that dunk at the rim, what was that like? Tell us about that play.
First and foremost, it just feels good to get a win under our belt. I think, like Coach said, the way that we kind of responded after that first few minutes in the first quarter, and then also in the third quarter as well, is kind of indicative of what we're capable of. And so I think the next challenge is just doing that consistently. And for me, like dunks like that is kind of what I've been known for the last 4 or 5 years. So I don't really think about them too much, but it just feels good to kind of get some more energy into the gym, get the crowd into it. And obviously, my teammates love it as well. So it's always fun when I can just kind of create some energy like that.
The young guy came back at you a bit too there. Young Alex did like you. Tell me about the dunk.
Yeah, no, I got even more respect for him because of that. I think people kind of get caught up in thinking stuff like that's personal when I just like to compete. And I wouldn't want him not coming back at me. You know what I'm saying? I think he's talented as he can be. I think he's got all the tools to be a really great player, and for him to kind of step back at me just made me appreciate him even more.
Does it feel good to put him on a poster, I guess?
Say it again.
Did it feel good to put him on a poster?
I hate to sound conceited, but that's what I do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna say it like it feels great. It's not gonna help me sleep better, any better tonight. But like I said, it's fun to kind of bring some energy to the game like that.
Their coach just said that he felt they were too emotional tonight. Did you think you got inside their heads a bit out there?
I think that'd be a question you have to ask him. That's not really my goal. I don't aim to get into their heads, and I think I can speak for most of the guys. So that I don't think that's our goal. I think for us, it's just focusing on doing what we do and trying to execute to the best of our abilities, and then having fun while doing so. I think us, having healthy emotion in the game is more so about keeping ourselves engaged and keeping the game fun for ourselves. I don't think we go out there with the goal of getting into their heads, if that makes any sense.
Mike, I guess you're looking comparing the first game to the second game, such a dramatic change. You must have been really pleased from that perspective as well.
Yeah, we've won every game we've scored 110 points. We've won, and really until you do it, you can say it's going to happen. You can say this is how it works, but until the guys do it, you're not sure. But you do it that time, and now you can do it again. You can do it again. You build your consistency and stack days on quarters like we had today and games like we had today. So, yeah, it feels a little better than it did the other night.
And the response from the captain, Mitch Creek, he really sort of set the tone, I guess, in that first half, didn't he?
Yeah, I think Mitch was fantastic, and he needs to play, and the more he plays, I think the more comfortable he feels, and that was Mitch Creek tonight. It was really good to see him go out and have some fun, but we had a number of guys I thought really stood up like that.
And another one of those, coming to Tyler, two newcomers, but they've just seamlessly made the transition to a new unit. How pleasing has that been for you?
Well, that's one game. So, yes, I hear what you're saying, but we need to do it. Repeat performances. Will's been great. I think, a lot of us are new this year, and Will, being new to Australia, getting used to the way games are called, the style of play, all that kind of stuff is it's a transition, and I think they've done it really well. You're correct. Long way to go, and they're getting to know people as they go. Guys from the other team. So good to get the win that way.
Mike, you sat a lot of the starters pretty early in that last quarter. Was that as much about sort of protecting some of the guys that haven't had as much preseason and things, or was it getting the bench guys in, or what was the?
Yeah, it was definitely playing everybody. Those young guys have played so well, and in trying to G them up a little in a timeout after they gave up some plays, like they compete with the first team really well during practice, and sometimes they're kicking their butts in practice. So I tried to remind those guys of that. I think they need those minutes because Owen Foxwell is going to play minutes for our team, and he's going to be super important. Reese Vague was good tonight, but he needed some of those extra minutes. Matt Kenyon, so Cody Statman, like Anzac, they've all done important things, I think, during the preseason, so we needed them. And at the same time, even though I could have been wrong in the end, like it got down to 11, but I felt like the lead was pretty solid. And if something bad happened to one of the guys who had played 25 minutes, I wouldn't have been able to forgive myself. So it was a good, well, I think it was a good time to change that, but yeah, I'll watch it again and maybe wait another 30 seconds or something next time.
Like you referenced the defense, but you were down double digits early in this game. What does it do to be able to change within a game the defensive stuff rather than it wasn't from the outset, but in terms of moving forward, what they lead and learn from that?
Yeah, no, I think that's a good point. Like if John really talked about them being emotional, I think this team might be a little emotional at times, and some of these emotional times are like a barometer for us. So to be able to come out and kind of get popped in the nose and then come back and settle without too many timeouts or talking from the bench, the guys were able to settle themselves and I guess learn how to attack it, and they did that, so they know they can do it again.
And you were, for a lot of the night, switching the screen action, and so on paper maybe it looked like there were mismatches out there. What are you learning still about this group and the trust you have with different guys out on the perimeter in different situations?
Yeah, I think a group will tell you. I've heard it from a smarter coach than myself. They'll tell you what they want to do or what they're good at, and I'm not a real big switching guy, but there's times when we've got a group out there that can switch and that likes to switch, and that kind of buys in to do that, and they did it really well at times tonight and the other night. So it'll be something we keep mixing up.
Just you've been around the game a long time, but the other night was tough. Now you get your first win here. What do you walk away? What is the feeling for you? Do you have any time to enjoy this, or does it mean anything special to you?
Yeah, I think we have to enjoy it. I have to enjoy it myself. I think my wife is going to be super stoked because we just moved into a place for the 5th time in the last 9 years or something. We moved, and until you win, she's not sure about buying anything long term. So yes, I'll enjoy it tonight. Annette will enjoy it tonight, and we'll get to work on Tuesday.
Yeah. Teams don't keep Bryce Cotton to 7 points. You've just done that. What was your plan?
Well, I don't think you go in saying we're going to stop Bryce Cotton, but I think you can try to limit him as well as you can. I think we have a number of guys that kind of enjoy or relish the moment. Ben Ayer has been really good for us on both sides of the ball. Matt Kenyon was special, and Gary Brown came in. So good to have him back and really got after it. So I think just being connected as much as possible and making things as hard as possible. But I think it was a group mentality because there was some switching. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not counting on I even hate to say holding Bryce to 7. Like, I don't think anybody limits Bryce totally. You got to depend on him sometimes. He also had 9 assists at halftime. So I remember one time Garden Gaze thinking I did a great job, and because he only had 20 points, and he had, just like Bryce, he had 10 assists and 9 rebounds or something. So Bryce still did some good things, but he did shoot poorly, which was great for us. Thanks, fellas.